Are you looking to join Cycling Men of Leisure for one of our rides in 2025? We've got a few things on our schedule.
That's right. We'll be attending Big Bragg and also the Bourbon Country Burn.
Big Bragg is in Georgia and Bourbon Country Burn's in Kentucky. Both places are going to be absolutely beautiful. We're going to have teams for both of those events. If you're looking to join us on our team, just send us a message. We'll tell you what to do.
So come on out. It's going to be a good time.
Absolutely.
Well, it's time for Road Adventures with Cycling Men of Leisure, the podcast for cyclists who understand that riding is not just about getting to the destination, but the experience along the way. Now, here are the original Cycling Men of Leisure, Adam and Michael.
Hey, good to be with you, sir.
Happy to be with you again.
Wow, look at this. Today, we have an extremely important, very special guest with us.
This is exciting.
Before we introduce this guest, let's tell our subscribers what we're going to be talking about today.
Well, today we're going to be talking about a very special friend who joins us on all of our rides and has been joining us for all of our rides since we started riding.
For you and I, for sure.
If any of you have ever seen us out riding, you will always notice in the back of my cycling jersey, there's this little beanie baby sticking his head out. And his name is Confetti.
Confetti. Well, let me go ahead and bring our very special guest on. So today we have with us.
Hi, my name's Maya.
Well, Maya, welcome. And Maya, tell us who you are.
My name's Maya Sharp. I'm in 6th grade. I'm 11 years old, and I collect Beanie Babies.
So tell me, when was the first time that Confetti is the Beanie Baby. For those of you who do not know, this is a white Beanie Baby that is almost like birthday cake. I mean, it's very popular right now, birthday cake flavoring and birthday cake cookies and stuff. And Confetti has multiple colors. Tell us how Confetti came about.
Well, whenever I was younger, I used to miss my dad whenever he used to go on bike rides, so I used to give him stuffed animals to bring with him. And one day, whenever he was going to leave, I decided I'd send Confetti with him. So I sent Confetti with him, and then year after year, I kept sending Confetti with him. And eventually, every time he goes on a bike ride, it just became that he brings Confetti with him.
Now, see, my first interaction with Confetti was 2016 at RAGBRAI. Mm-hmm. We had started our first day of riding, and you were gathering all your stuff together. And you said, okay, do I have cell phone, wallet, and confetti? And I first kind of looked over and I thought, there's a grown man with a Beanie Baby.
With confetti.
What's going on here, you know? And so, and then I realized right away that you had explained to me that you had brought confetti with you many places. Now, have you only brought confetti with you on bike rides?
I have only brought confetti. Now before I went on the first ride, and she was old enough to understand, there was a big controversy or a big decision she had to make. She wanted me to take a stuffed animal. She didn't know which one. And there was like, maybe it should be this one or maybe it should be that one. And so there was this week-long decision-making thing going on with her of which one I should take. I don't know how she determined confetti, but finally before I left, she had determined that was the bear to take. And so ever since then, I have taken that single bear.
Now, I know what it's like to pack for a ride. Have you ever, you're getting all your stuff together, okay, I'm leaving in the morning, and you get everything ready for your family and what you're going to do. Have you ever came about where you couldn't find confetti and you thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be in trouble? Or
no, there's not been a time where I haven't been able to find confetti, ultimately. There was a couple times it's like, oh no, where's he at? And it tends to be one of the first things that I pack because I'm always worried I'm going to leave it.
Okay. So Maya, how old were you when you received confetti?
I think I was like 5 or 4, I think.
Okay. So when we don't just take the bear, I know that I've actually pointed out multiple places where, hey, you should take the confetti picture here, or we should take the confetti picture there. What do you do with all the pictures?
I just keep them up in a big storehouse of all these different pictures of confetti.
Nice.
And when we're riding, there'll be a lot of times I'll stop. It's like you'll look back or whatever and see me pulling over. And it's like, okay, he's taking a picture of confetti and that type of thing. But there'll be times where you'll point out, or other people riding with us saying, hey, that'd be a good picture with confetti. So I just have all these hundreds of pictures of confetti in Nebraska and Iowa and Kentucky and Michigan and all over the place.
So Maya, when he takes confetti, when he gets home, for the daughter, are you excited for him to show you all the pictures?
Yeah.
So I know many times we've been like we pass a VFW hall, there'll be a tank and you'll put confetti on the barrel of the tank, or sometimes airplanes. We've seen airplanes at some of the places. Maya, do you have any favorite photographs that you've seen that your dad has come home with?
Well, probably one of them is confetti on my dad's bike, and above him is a sign that says no parking.
I know exactly where that was in Iowa. That was from this year, and I remember seeing that no parking sign. Believe that's a little bit after that we went to the Casey's and got a little refresher. Yeah. I know exactly. So not only do you have the experience with your daughter, but I also get to share the experience with you. Confetti's flown first class. Mm-hmm. This is the first year that we actually flew with our bike, and we were bumped up to first class heading down to the Georgia ride. And so the flight attendant, she just thought it was such an endearing, wonderful story. So she actually spoiled you and I because of the story. So I've gained from the confetti notoriety for sure.
And you've been in several pictures with confetti yourself.
I sure have. If you could picture these in parks and stuff, they have these cutouts where there's supposed to be two heads, and then maybe it's like a farmer holding a pitchfork or whatever, pigs, on horses or whatever. I will be in one of the pictures, and then I'll put confetti in the other head hole, if you will. Usually the shorter one, if there is a shorter one.
And ultimately, I think probably what I'll do at some point in time is put them all in a big book. So she doesn't know that yet. But
that's okay.
I think that's my goal, to take this big combination of all of these years of pictures into a big book.
Well, that's the greatest thing about these cell phones now. They put geographic locations. So when you take the photograph, you can, if you turn it on your phone, you can say, save the GPS location. So you'll be able to go back and actually
where it's at and when it's at. So I'll know which ride it is. So.
That's pretty cool. So I know that confetti has been in Michigan many times, Kentucky,
yep,
Georgia, Iowa, Illinois, and I'm drawing a blank if I'm missing one. Kansas, some of the Kansas rides. We went to Pittsburgh.
Kansas, and it's been in Nebraska.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Now tell me, does confetti also go, like you just did a work trip? Do you take confetti on the work trip?
No, confetti doesn't go on work trips.
Oh.
Confetti's too much of a troublemaker. I can't be responsible for that. So.
Yes, we have known that. No. So Maya, tell us, you're 11, and sometimes as we grow older, we grow out of softies. When you get a little bit older, will you still think it's neat as he still takes confetti?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So tell us, what, I know it's not comfortable being on a microphone, but tell us, do you have like hopes and dreams of photographs so I can help like steer some of the pictures? Like, do you wish, I wish you would have done this, or wish you would have done that?
No, I don't really think so.
You like this, the surprise when he comes home and what he's chosen.
Yeah.
Well, Confetti found Jesus in Michigan this year, so I'm not sure if your dad showed you that photograph, but it was your dad and I. We went through this town, and there was a wooden statue of Jesus. It was just out in the middle of nowhere, and we put confetti on Jesus' shoulder, I think, or my shoulder, and we took a picture there.
I think it was like Rock Falls or something. Yeah,
Rock Falls. That's right. Boy, I tell you what, I know it had all those classic bicycles and classic cars across the street.
Yes, redone classic bicycles from 60, 70, 80 years ago. It was really nice.
One of those ones that was really neat. It had a lock like on the steering mechanism.
Yeah, you could actually lock the bike steering mechanism so you didn't have to worry about anybody stealing it because they couldn't ride it.
I wonder if that's how they did it, like in the old days. Forget like a bike lock. They just locked it. So if you want to steal it, you can
Lock
ride in
the
a circle.
stem as long as you're going, straight or whatever direction it's locked in. Well, that's cool. But
Now, I do know that there's been a few times where Confetti has had to ride in a plastic bag because it's been raining.
yeah, Confetti he uses a Ziploc bag for a raincoat when it's pouring rain, but he doesn't get left behind or left in the baggage. He always goes, rain or shine, Confetti's there.
So I personally don't have children, but I really think it's a neat tradition that you guys have both come up with. Who actually came up with the idea?
Well, I'll tell the backstory because there is a bigger backstory to this whole thing. In 2002, I think we mentioned this in past podcasts, I got into cycling, these long cycling adventures with my family in the introduction of Team Sherpa, and we rode across Nebraska, bike ride across Nebraska. And at the time, my nieces were probably 4, 5, 6, somewhere in that area. And they had these little stuffed bear, Beanie Baby bear type things. And my father and I were riding, and they were actually with us on that first ride. Well, they had stuffed animals, and they both gave us one of their stuffed animals to ride with. And they always got this enjoyment of they would be in a vehicle, and they'd come up behind us, and they'd see their little bears sticking, one out of my jersey, one out of my father's jersey, and it gave them the biggest thrill that they're riding across Nebraska. So that's what we did at the original ride that it really got me into this. So the concept of riding with a stuffed animal really started with them. And then when Maya got old enough and I started going on these rides for a week at a time, she was young. She was like, oh, I'm going to miss Dad. And she started giving me the bear.
Nice. Well, I personally think it's really cool. I mean, I've had a little bit of adult humor where people have said, "Oh, are you doing that for your daughter?" And I always say, "Actually, it's for him." And some people look at us kind of weird, but that's okay. I know that in true spirit, you're doing it to honor your daughter and share some wonderful memories with her.
Now, I will bring up another story, and I have told her this. Every time I start the ride in the morning, and you've seen me many times, I always keep everything in my jersey the same. So, it starts out on my right side. I've got my wallet. The center's my phone. And on the left is Confetti. And every morning as I'm getting on my bike, we start riding and I, get comfortable on the bike. I make sure that everything is there. Well, in Iowa this year, it had never happened before. We're at the top of a hill. We start going, you and I at the same time. And I reach back and there's my wallet and there's my phone and there was no confetti. And I will tell you, this fear just struck me. And you heard me yell, it's like, I'm missing the bear. So I immediately slam on my brakes, pull off to the side. And of course, we're on a hill and it's like, I don't want to try to turn around and ride against the traffic. So I walk up this hill and I'm like, we could have lost this between here and the last 3 or 4 mile section. And I get to the top of the hill and I'm just sweating because I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I tell Maya that I lost the bear after all of this?
You don't. You go to eBay and you buy another one and then, I'm just kidding, Maya. I'm just kidding.
You do that with goldfish. I don't know if you can do it with confetti bears.
I know my bear. Other ones are fatter than him.
See, that's the problem. I was worried she'd call me out. And I was just like, oh my God, freaking out. And I get to the top of the hill and just that time a guy rolls up and goes, oh, did anybody drop this bear? And I was like, that's mine. So it was very traumatic that Confetti tried to make a run for it.
Now, the gentleman that you explained that's my bear, did he ask you anything about Confetti, or did you just hand it to him and he rode off and thought to himself, that old man has a bear?
Well, I said, yes, that's mine. It's my daughter's, and I carry it with me on every ride. And Thank goodness I found it because it would not be pleasant when I got home. So I did explain myself because I was worried about that. It'd be like telling his buddies. He would have been the one I would have ran into at camp at night, and he'd have been sitting there going, oh, guess what? That guy's carrying the bear around.
Well, all right then. Well, I really appreciate you, Maya, joining us for being our special guest. I always love to give our guests a little moment. Do you have anything else that you'd like to say or any questions you may have?
I'm just going to say the actual name of the original name that Ty gave Confetti, it was the Y2K bear.
Okay, so Confetti's original name was Y2K. It's almost like my cat. We call her Winnie when we adopted her. We call her Minnie, excuse me. When we adopted her, her name was Winnie. And we are Disney fans, and we said no. Hello, Minnie. Welcome to our house. So you have honored Confetti by realizing the Confetti skin, if you will. And Confetti has a nice little bow tie for the interview today.
Looking good there.
Looks a lot cleaner than the last time I saw him. I think no, I'm just kidding.
Yes, Confetti has joined us here on the interview stand. So,
oh, that's great. Well, Maya, I appreciate you. I appreciate you being our special guest today. All right, sir. Well, do you have anything else to add?
well, we'll let Maya say what I always say.
It's a great day for a bike ride.
Perfect. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for coming along with Adam and Michael on Road Adventures with Cycling Men of Leisure. If you have enjoyed this, please subscribe to the show on the podcast app of your choice.
Hey, we just wanted to remind you that we've got some really cool products at our jersey and our swag store.
That's right. You can visit cyclingmenofleisure.com. At the top of the page, you'll find our stores page. Click there. There's 2 QR codes. The one on the left has a J on it. That's the store for the jerseys. The one on the right is just a swag store. Has all kinds of different items. Kind of customizable. You can kind of make the swag the way you want it. If the QR codes are giving you an issue, don't worry. Underneath, there's 2 buttons that you can click on. Thank you, and have a great day.